Welcome, GV Gang. We're back once again to talk more Switch 2. We got hands-on time with Mario Kart World. It's not Mario Kart 9, Steve.
I know. I'm happy to be wrong on this one though. As long as it's not
Mario Kart 10.
Exactly. As long as it's not Mario Kart 10, I'm happy for it to be literally anything else.
And honestly, Mario Kart World is an incredibly appropriate name for the game that we're getting.
Yeah, it is an open world Mario Kart game, as the box art implies.
It's kind of insane. We got to look at the map, and it's all interconnected. This is the Forza Horizon of Mario Kart.
Yeah, it really is. And I actually had more fun exploring than I did racing.
I did too.
Yeah, it's I don't know where I was. I did not yet have the foresight to like pull up the map and figure it out. But I was in some grassy terrain with like a river going through it, and I would just find random neat stuff like off in the horizon to drive to. At one point I found like a Yoshi burger stand, and it had a little fast food power up in it that Daisy ate, and then it changed her from like the outfit I had her in back into her traditional outfit.
We finally know what that is from the original Switch 2 reveal. But yeah, it's a fast food bag, and it gives you a random piece of fast food. I think at one point I got like a stack of Yoshi pancakes. I was playing as Toad, and just like you, I used the item. It made me go faster for honestly quite a bit. And then it changed my costume to Captain Toad. It wasn't called Captain Toad. It was like Explorer or whatever, but it was Captain Toad.
Yeah, there's so much to love in this game. I was thrilled when I was playing it. I didn't know this is what I wanted from Mario Kart, but just the idea that Mario Kart can be more than a competitive game is incredibly captivating to me.
It's also like in some ways they've doubled down on competition too, because one of the modes that we got to try was knockout mode, which you play race after race continuously with no break, and you have to get into a certain place or higher in order to continue. It's honestly very similar to F-Zero 99. Their Grand Prix work exactly the same way, but instead of stopping and starting between races, you just keep going.
Yeah, it's really cool the way that they've implemented this. I played against you, and I lost very early on in knockout mode, but I was doing well. I was like in the top 5 for the entirety of the race until I lost. I just happened to be maneuvering quite well, but as Mario Kart luck would have it, people got absolutely cutthroat towards each goal.
Yeah, it was brutal. I made it all the way to the final leg of the race. It was 6 individual races all wrapped into one. I made it to the final one, which was top 4. I managed to barely sneak out 3rd place. And I was in 1st place for quite a long period of the race. But I got 3rd place and it felt really good. Because we were playing 24-player LAN. Like, everyone was connected. It was all human players.
Yeah, it was a really cool experience to be able to get a group that large together and have everybody play. I'm really excited for what this will be like online eventually.
Yeah.
Especially with the introduction of game chat. I think it'll make for a really fun experience.
They've turned Mario Kart not only into this competitive game like you mentioned before, but it's now a social experience.
Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't get to try like free roam mode, and I get why. These were all timed demos, so we had X number of minutes.
We did technically get to free roam for a little bit, like during setup for knockout. We had to wait for 24 players, and in that time period, and I imagine this is how it'll work in the full game, we just got to explore the map for free.
Yeah, and I ended up chasing all kinds of random things I saw. I mentioned earlier I had seen, a Yoshi hamburger stand where I also got pancakes, weirdly enough. But I saw just outside of an item box, a star just bouncing along the terrain. And so I chased it down and got a power star. It didn't do anything different than you would expect in Mario Kart, but it was really cool to just see an item out in the wild that I could grab.
It's not even just items that you'll see walking about. Like, there were NPCs just taking a stroll in the road.
Oh, yeah. I actually decided at one point to go down the river since now there are boats. and I encountered a Yoshi fishing on a boat. I was able to jump on his boat and then springboard off of said boat while disturbing his fishing. I saw a couple of toads hanging out. It felt alive in a way that Mario Kart tracks often do, but it's always, something you can't interact with. You just see them off in the distance and you're like, neat, little 2D toads. This time it's just 3D NPCs just kind of everywhere.
Yeah, Mario Kart, they've made, obviously it's called Mario Kart World, but it feels alive. Like the fast food stands, they're strewn about throughout the world. But it's so funny, like there are just Yoshis working a 9 to 5 making food for you and you can pick it up. Speaking of 9 to 5, one thing that we didn't know going into our demo was that there's a day-night system and there's a weather system. Someone
Yes.
used a lightning, and that lightning item caused it to rain.
Yeah, it completely changed the look of the environment. It started pouring down rain, and at that point, one of the folks from Nintendo told us that that was just a thing that happens now, that you can alter the weather with some of the items, which I thought was incredibly, incredibly cool. I have to say, I did not expect this to be like the big AAA game for the Switch. I've never viewed Mario Kart as like a AAA
I
series.
haven't either, but this feels big. Like this is an evolution of Mario Kart. This isn't just the next Mario Kart. This is the next idea of what Mario Kart can be.
Yeah, and I think it's even more remarkable in the sense that Mario Kart, much like Smash Brothers, hasn't evolved like over time, right? It has changed, but it has stayed within the confines of the definition set by the original Super Mario Kart. Whereas this is its kind of Mario 64 or Breath of the Wild moment where they reinvent the formula by which Mario Kart games are built and come up with something new and frankly much more exciting.
This achieves something that I think a lot of open world games tend to not achieve as well. Like the core experience of Mario Kart is still there. Like the tracks are still tracks and you can go find them. There's just a bunch of other pieces of the world also there. So you're getting the best of both worlds. You're getting this cool open world that's actually fun to explore, but then you're getting the tightly designed Mario Kart tracks you've come to know and love.
And one thing I love about what they've done here that I think is brilliant is that for the first time in a very, very long time, I feel like I don't know how to play this game. Because I noticed NPCs doing stuff that I don't expect NPCs to do in a Mario Kart game, intentionally going off the track, going off-road, taking shortcuts that are built into the world,
Right.
and landing at different places. This game rewards your familiarity with it.
In past games, Lackey 2, if you were doing like a big skip that, speedrunners know about, oftentimes Lackey 2 is going to stop you in your tracks, but he's not doing that here.
Yeah, you can go as far off that track as you want, or at least within reason. I don't know if there is a logical like he'll pull you back at some point. I imagine he will.
He picked me up one time in my play session, and that's when I drove into a big pit of lava.
Yeah, so he's still there to somewhat, but I find it very interesting that I saw NPCs going what I would consider to be way out of bounds, and they were, it was just encouraged behavior at this point.
The only thing that I found frustrating for our demo is that the handicap steering and the auto acceleration were turned on, and we could not turn them off.
Yeah, that felt like a bit of a like a bit of a miss for me, because I definitely had moments where I felt like the game was fighting me. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. And I didn't understand what was happening until they explained it to us.
It's antithetical to the gameplay design too, because like you want to be off-roading when you can, and the game is actively trying to get you back on the track, and it confused my brain until we eventually found out, after we were done playing, mind you, that was happening.
Right. One thing I want to point out too is just how beautiful this game
Oh
is.
my god.
It plays and looks phenomenal. It is a rock solid 60 FPS. We played this at 1440p, the highest resolution I've ever played any Nintendo first party game at. Well, any first party game until maybe later in that same day, and it was just beautiful. Like this is a game that I think Nintendo is going to do what they did for the original Switch, where this will be the game they show off as like, wow, look what we can do on this hardware.
And Mario Kart is never like the game that comes to mind when you think about that. The first time I played a Mario Kart game and I was like, oh, this is beautiful, was Mario Kart 8. Right? That was Nintendo entering HD for the first time. This is on a completely different level.
Yeah, Mario Kart 8 is still, by today's standards, even a beautiful game. But Mario Kart World is on a whole other tier, like a whole other level. It's just stunning. Like playing it and seeing it in motion when you're not having to focus on individual pixels. It's just super impressive.
Yeah, I love just the game shouldn't work as well as it does. I don't understand, but it does, and it's allowing Mario Kart to do things that definitely wouldn't have been possible on any other Nintendo hardware to date.
Yeah, I think a big part of Switch 2's enhanced ability to load data quickly and read stuff from the cards faster is how we ended up with this. This is a game that feels well and truly impossible on the previous generation, and I just can't wait to play more of it.
Two things that I thought were interesting, and there was one I was trying to tell you, but it was really loud in the room, so I don't know if I ever managed to get it to you, is that when you trick off of a ramp or a jump, you can do it multiple times.
Yeah. I did end up trying that, and I was very surprised by just how well that works. You can also hold down the jump button when you're in boat form, and it will give you a free boost just for holding down the jump button.
Oh, okay. I that's the cool thing about Mario Kart World, is that I didn't get to experience a whole lot of boat mode because I just wasn't in areas with water very often.
I ended up in a lot of places with water, and the water physics were really impressive. Like, I was shocked to find like rolling waves coming at me, and you could trick off of the waves. And
Wave Race is back, baby.
It honestly felt a bit like Wave Race. It was really, really nice to see.
And the gliding sections felt a little bit more airplane-y to me than like the gliding from Mario Kart 8, which is a lot more freeing. I felt like it was more rigid, but in a way that felt right.
Yeah, it felt a bit more controlled, and I actually really liked the way that they handled that.
Yeah, I want to talk about the character roster really quick before we finish up here. What in the world is going on in this game? There's charging chucks. I saw a dolphin. A dolphin. I mean, an actual dolphin driving a Mario Kart in one of my races. And I was like, huh? He doesn't have legs. How is he pushing the pedals?
Yeah, you have the cow from Moo Moo Meadows is just a driver, which is the very first character I played as.
I was proud of your choice.
I did not hesitate. She was slow, she was heavy, and she was perfect.
The dolphin wasn't playable. Like, I couldn't pick him. But there were also other characters in the trailer that we saw, like Penguin, Charging Chuck, like I mentioned. I think I saw a Hammer Brother at one point. I wonder if these are actually playable. I think they are. Or if they're just there to vary up the NPC layout a little bit.
That's a really good question. I imagine they are going to be playable, because it's also worth noting that Mario and crew have just dozens of costumes, apparently.
Mario Kart Tour did something good, y'all. We got costumes in a mainline game.
Yeah, it's really fun to see, and they're counted as different characters. Like Mario in a racing suit is a different character than just Mario.
Oh, I forgot to mention, and I don't know if we have footage of this, but when I was running around just doing stuff as Toad, I unlocked a new suit for him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it just showed up on the screen. I don't even remember what I did exactly, but I unlocked a new suit for Toad.
That's amazing. Like, I'm really interested to see how deep this rabbit hole goes. I already heard some people express that they're sad that non-Mario characters aren't back.
They have to be coming.
Yeah, I predict that there'll be DLC.
We got different outfits. Like Animal Crossing, that's a match made in heaven. That's the whole thing. The same with the Inklings.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that there's a good chance they'll be back.
Link's got like 40 outfits between Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
It's true.
I was not expecting to be as excited for Mario Kart World as I am. I'm sad we didn't get to play more of it.
Yeah, I think for me, the last 10 years of Mario Kart 8 dampened my hype for Mario Kart World a little bit when the Switch 2 was revealed a while back. I was like, great, Mario Kart. Like, we all knew this was coming. I'm not super hot on it, but after having seen more of it and then played it, this is going to eat up a lot of my time, especially since it is basically going to be the marquee launch title.
I think they've made the right call here with that too. It's big on game chat and social experiences. It's gorgeous. It's a great showpiece for the console. And it's Mario Kart. It's going to sell like 40 bajillion copies.
Yeah, and they're discounting it, I don't want to say heavily, but they are discounting it for if you buy
almost
it with the Switch 2.
Almost 50% off.
Yeah, it's kind of a no-brainer to pick it up with the console.
It almost feels like the game's $80 because they want you to just buy the bundle.
Yeah, it does feel like that's the move. They know if you're buying a Switch 2, you're probably going to buy Mario Kart, so you can get it for $50, or you can, for whatever reason, choose to pay a lot more.
Don't do that.
No.
Just don't. If you're going to buy a Switch, get the Mario Kart bundle. You're going to have fun with it. We got a lot more Switch 2 games to talk about, so stay here to GVG. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss all the cool GVG-related Switch 2 stuff that we got to talk about. But we got to go so we can talk about more Switch 2. So thanks for listening. We'll see you soon. Keep the games good and the vibes greater. Bye now.
Bye.